Welcome to some random musings by Shep Nelson as we look at some videos of my 2025 M2O.
Okay, here we are on the
So
beach.
here we are. I'm just sending a little video to my family to say I'm on my way. The start is happening in about an hour from now. This is me paddling out. There's 130 boats there, and the start is pretty chaotic. This year's start was especially interesting because the line was set, but they told us we could paddle outside of it, and so I paddled way outside. This is right after the boat finds me, which is always a good thing. As you can see, there's a lot of water moving around. It's crazy with all the boats and the racers and running into each other's foils, tracks. You can really feel it. The start was great though. The wind was really good right off the bat. There was lots of movement and it was easy to go fast. I chose the Lift 130 Florence foil with a brand new tail that Lift just came out with that definitely made the foil a lot faster. But I always feel on M2O that you should figure out what your hero wing is and size up 1 to 2 wings from there. So this is my largest wing that I would run in a race. Even though the wind was good, this channel's just really challenging in that it gets a lot of holes and flat spots. So you can see here we've moved on a little bit more and the bumps have calmed down a little bit. There's still water moving, but there's big holes. Here's a good example of how that works. So I'm kind of searching for one, pumping, and then I see something, so I turn and lay into it. And now I can cruise at like probably 20 miles an hour at this point. So you've got to be able to have a wing that can cruise at 20 miles an hour, but then watch as I turn off, it like becomes a big hole again. This is the same video, just the original uncropped version. Oh, being able to turn downwind and get good speed, but then also be able to make it through those flat spots and pump for 40 miles is the wing that you need. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I kept talking to the channel as I was going, and so I was saying to her like, all right, thank you. This is a part that's got some bumps and I have not fallen yet and I'm feeling, pretty good. Then as we move into closer to the middle of the channel, you can see the bumps have flattened out. So she's kind of moody right now and I'm like, all right, let's just keep going. Don't fall. I'm trying to concentrate, stay high on the mast and not work too hard. I'm taking nutrition every 45 minutes, gels, and honeys. So anyway, I'm just kind of keeping on here. Now it starts to get a little bit better. It's like not as moody here. The bumps are running nice. There's white caps. So following the boat. But you just never really know what to expect in this channel, and that's why I chose the wing that I did. I probably could have run the 110 through all of this. That's what I ran in Maui to Molokai. But if I had come down, I was concerned about being able to get lifted. Remember, it's not like I have no trouble getting lifted on the 110, but after 30 miles on this day and 27 miles, a day before that, your legs are pretty much shot. So here you can see it's now pretty flat. I found a winger here mid-channel and another sup paddler. This sup paddler's boat was driving me crazy. They were yelling at him and I was trying to get away. Now you can start to see a Wahoo. So this is like really a mental lift where you're feeling like, oh wow, okay, I can see where I'm headed now. And it feels like you're making headway. The bumps start to get good in this section, but you can also start to feel backwash and some different angles at this point. It's pretty crazy how far offshore you can start to feel the backwash from Hanama Bay. And last year I fell outside of Hanama Bay, and I really didn't want to do that again. Unfortunately, here you'll see I fall in the same spot. But I'm cruising right now, just trying to keep myself engaged. Mentally, you start to get pretty worn out at this point too, just being able to concentrate. Your legs are really tired. That's where at this point I try to do some honey with caffeine, keep my mind engaged, give your body some carbohydrates and caffeine to uplift that energy, and keep your mind engaged, because the wandering mind can make you work harder than you want to. Now you can really see the backwash starting to come off Hanama. So we're getting closer to a Wahoo. The bumps are really good and move really fast, and then there's backwash that starts to come out here. This is a challenging part of the race. For me, this has been the most challenging part every year that I've done the race. And here you can see I've fallen. So this is one of 25 minutes of attempts to get lifted. It doesn't really look like it, but there's also a tremendous amount of current that's running. So it's hard to stay on the board because the current is reacting with the foil. Here's one where I get lifted and I can't quite hold on to it. You can see there's just not really any bumps to get pointed downhill on. So I get up here at the top of a bump, which is really lucky, and why the 130 was what I chose to run this day. And here I'm going, but my legs are just jelly. I've been 15 minutes of trying to get up. All right, 25 minutes later, I finally get up. This is just like, I'm so thankful to be awake. To be up and running, and my mind is pretty awake now. I'm feeling pretty happy. I just don't want to screw up again. So now I'm cruising. Also at this point, I forgot that I'd started my watch really early. And so I've been watching my watch thinking, shoot, I'm not going to be able to break 3 hours. And this is where I realized, I started my watch like 20 minutes early, and I think I can break 3 hours if I don't come down again. So I'm pretty excited, actually. You can see I'm approaching China walls. And so this is still really tough section of water. Lots of backwash here, although this day it started to get a little bit easier here than it was the previous year. But still really got to stay mentally sharp. Now here's China walls. So now I'm like in the clean water. This is where it really starts to mellow out, but you're going to enter the Hawaii Kai run. And at this point, I'm still pretty worried that Hawaii Kai can be really flat, because the tide was high, and when the tide's high, the bumps just don't really work as well in the bay normally. And so I'm trying to conserve energy. This is like 30 miles into the race, and we've still got another 12 miles to go. All right, now you can see Diamond Head up ahead, and so I'm in the middle of the bay, and the bumps are actually great. I'm so pumped. Everything is so much more mellow compared to the channel. It just feels really, really easy. So I am cruising and pretty sure that I'm going to be able to beat 3 hours, which is making me happy. And I'm probably taking my last gel and or honey caffeine supplement, because I know that I've got to bounce around the reefs here at Diamond Head. So the reefs at Diamond Head, like I've got to head straight towards that point you see, and there's the lighthouse there, and then I've got to use reef energy instead of the wind waves, because the wind waves kind of just all smooth out on the reef. So here's the finish, and my kids are running towards me to give me lays. I definitely thought about them a lot in the channel, and I knew that they were waiting for me. So even when I was down for those incredibly challenging 25 minutes, I just knew that I had to get going again to get this, not let my family down. So anyway, this is my third year doing this race on foil, and I couldn't have been happier. It was my best time yet. I was 2 hours 52 minutes, I think. If I hadn't fallen, I would have been much more competitive, but all in all, it was a good season, and I was really happy. My board could not have been better. The Kalama Performance gator is incredible, and my lift foils, just continue to be great. I'm really happy with everything. Anyway, thanks for watching. Aloha.